Hi, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. And thanks so much for tuning in to today's video series called Way Out Wednesdays, which has an acronym WOW, which is pretty cool, isn't it? So today is a video that we're going to be talking about ley lines and portals. So we're going to be talking about energy, right? We're going to be talking about big energy. I'll give you that much. Let's start with ley lines. Now, I know there's a lot of energy and a lot of definitions out there, and a lot of people talk about this. And I know that it has been researched, but I'm going to tell you that I pretty much channel these videos. I'm 60% channeling my spirit guides, and I'm 40% Susan. So what I'm about to tell you today may or may not match up with what's out there. I don't know. I'm simply going to share with you the information that I'm getting from my spirit guides. So if you would like to correct me in the comments, please go right ahead. But I'm pretty much going to go with what my guides are telling me. And, if that doesn't jive with you, then that's cool. It's all good, right? So let's get started. The interesting thing about ley lines to me, now I understand the concept that ley lines are these energetic roadways that they have found that actual roads happen to be ley lines. You have a road from a city to a powerful place, a temple, a church, or some kind of place that would be sacred. You would have a trail that the native peoples would take to this sacred place. And lo and behold, that actually doubles as a ley line. So ley lines are energetic roadways. Now, I would say to you that in my experience as a medium, which means I see and talk to ghosts pretty frequently, and I also talk to anything else on the other side of the veil, whether it's an ET, an alien, or crossed over loved one like your grandma or other entities. It's interesting to me that ghosts and other energies use ley lines to travel as well. So these roadways that we humans use, and somehow on some deep spiritual level, we may recognize that it has some energy to it. Well, indeed, those that are not human, that are not incarnated as a human at that time, also use ley lines. Ley lines can be a great place to get rid of something. Now, I'm not suggesting that anybody throws something on the road or trash or anything like that, but I am suggesting that if there happens to be a trash receptacle on a ley line, that would be a great place to get rid of something that has energy to it. Now, I've done a video on one of my Way Out Wednesdays, which you can find on my main channel. You click the icon, my logo, it'll take you to my main YouTube channel. From there, you'll see a series of playlists, and you click playlist and then look for WOW videos. You'll see that I did a video on items that have energy. This could be something that you buy in an antique store. It could be a piece of clothing, a used piece of clothing, could be a used piece of jewelry. And you get it home and you think, this is not good. This thing has got energy. I don't like the vibe it's giving off. Or, God forbid, it actually moves around on you. You put it on the dresser and you come back and it's on the other nightstand. And you know that you were the only one in the house. Well, if something like that is happening to you and you have a piece of jewelry or a piece of anything that's moving of its own accord, it's time to take a deep breath and realize that you've got an issue that you really need to deal with. So to deal with that issue, you could simply make sure that it's not your grandpa in spirit having a good time with you by moving things around. So how do you do that? You just tune in, and how do you feel? Do you feel fear? Do you feel anxiety? That's probably not a good thing. When you wear it, does it creep you out? Do you not wear it because it creeps you out? Not a good thing. Now, of course, you could sell it, give it away, or if you wanted to, you could drop it in a trash can at an intersection. A four-way intersection is good for dispersing energy. Or if you happen to know that there's a ley line with a trash can on it, that'd be a good place to get rid of it too, because not only will the physical manifestation of that entity be disposed in the trash, but the energetic part of that entity will be transported along the ley line. But I digress. Let's talk about how ghosts use ley lines. Well, frankly, everything uses ley lines. Everything, all entities that are not human are using the ley line just as much as we are. Now, something that I'm not sure about, but my guides are telling me, so I'm going to just bet and hope that they're right, is that railroad tracks can also follow ley lines. So I find personally that railroad tracks can be a place where you can find entities traversing back and forth or traversing forward in one direction. Typically, for some reason, these ley lines seem to be one way. It seems that most of the energy is heading in the same direction. And I don't know why that is, but that's what I'm seeing right now. So ley lines could be something that are like latitude and longitude on a map, but they can also be much more than that. They can simply be energetic highways. Now, if you happen to live near an energetic highway, perhaps we don't even call it a ley line. Perhaps we just say an energetic highway, because I believe that ley lines have a very specific definition, but what I'm seeing is much broader than that specific definition. Again, I'm seeing railroad tracks being energetic highways. So you could just live in a regular old house on a regular old street, but perhaps, unbeknownst to you, you're on an energetic highway. Either that goes by your house, or if you're on a corner, the cross street could be an energetic highway. Now, how would you know that? Well, believe me when I say that if you know, if you've never had any trouble at your house, if you've always slept through the night, if you've always had good feelings, if your house feels like a home, if people go into your house and say, my gosh, I love this house, it feels so homey to me, that's not it, folks. That is a perfectly normal house. If your house feels creepy, edgy, weird, rattled, something's off to you, the homeowner, then something is off. Whether or not you're on an energetic highway or not, something is off with the energy of your house. If people come into your house and they say, I don't know, I don't really want to spend the night at your house because you know how I get creeped out in the guest bedroom. Well, if people are saying that to you, please pay attention. Pay attention to that. That's you're getting free, verifiable information right there. If someone says, oh, I don't like your hallway by your bathroom, I don't know, it just creeps me out, but I'm sure it's fine. No, I'd pay attention to that. If all of a sudden your dog or cat won't go into a room, I'd pay attention to that. Now, that doesn't mean necessarily that your house is on an energetic highway, but it certainly means that your house has energetic problems, which there are lots of ways to fix. And you can Google that as many, many ways to get rid of entities that might be in your house. I've got videos. If you, again, go to my playlist, you will see a playlist on how to remove a ghost. I mean, there's lots of resources here for you on my YouTube channel. But let's keep going. If you have an energetic highway, the energy is different. It's not in your house per se, as it is that you feel like you can't get any rest, that you feel really restless at night. You just can't get settled. something is always sort of keeping you a little bit on edge. So there's a difference there. I don't know if you catch that. The difference isn't that people are saying, hey, that bathroom's creeping me out. Instead, you're feeling like, I don't know, I just don't feel comfortable. I feel tired, or I feel empathically like there's something going on around my house. That could be an energetic highway. Now, there are ways that you could dampen that energy, but basically imagine your house being built, or you living on a house or in even an apartment, it doesn't matter, on a freeway. Now, imagine if your house were really insulated and you never heard the roaring of the cars or the horns or the emergency vehicles. I mean, you just never really heard that because they really took care in insulating your house. But yet you couldn't sleep because you could feel that energy. Now, some of us can feel it. God bless you. Some of us are not empathic. This does not mean that they're better or worse, or that empathic people are better or worse. It's simply a different way of interacting with energy. If you're empathic, you wouldn't do well living in a very vibrant downtown of a big city. It just might feel exciting for you the first month, but after that, it'd be terrible. It would exhaust you. I talk to clients all the time who live in areas they shouldn't live. I'm like, it's draining you. It's literally draining the life force out of you. You're going to have to move. So similarly, if you're on an energetic highway, you can dampen it just like insulating. You can energetically dampen it or insulate your house, but you're still going to feel that energy constantly going. Okay? So you can dampen it in all kinds of ways. I mean, you can ask for your spirit guides to help you dampen it. You can dampen it physically by, depending on who you are and what your energy responds to. You could use aromatherapy to calm yourself down. You could use, you could put headphones on and listen to binaural beats, or you could listen to guided meditations before going to sleep. So what you're doing is dampening the energy. You're separating yourself from that energy by redirecting either your olfactory or your clairauditory, your psychic hearing, or just your hearing. So you're dampening it in those ways. Okay. You could move your bedroom to a place that feels better. You're just going to walk through the house. Where do I feel the best? Okay. If you're empathic, you'll be able to do this. If you're not empathic and you're saying, but I'm not empathic, what do I do? I would say to you, if you're not empathic, you're likely not to have this problem because you're just not that in tuned to energy. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of us empathic people would love to be you because you're just not at the mercy of energy the way we are. Okay. You have, everybody has their own issues. You have your own things that you deal with. This is something that we deal with. Okay. So it's not something to wish you were more empathic, and it's honestly not something to wish you were less empathic. It is who you are. This is the soul that we have. These are the energies, the energetic makeup that we are experiencing, and our life lesson is to learn to live with it. So there are energetic pathways. And if you are empathic, I would suggest that you pay attention to that if you're looking for a place to live. And if you're not empathic and you're looking for a place to live, you may bring an empathic friend along to kind of suss out the energy. But you should also know that just because it makes them whacked out doesn't necessarily going to make you whacked out. Unless it's a ghost or an entity in your house, which can then be removed. You cannot remove yourself from an energetic highway unless you sell the property. So there's a difference there, right? Let's talk about portals. Portals are energy openings that open to another dimension. Now, that sounds pretty serious, and it sounds pretty out there, honestly, but it's actually really common. And again, those people that are empathic will be able to pick up on these portals easier. Now, I've experienced portals in the houses that I live in. There's a portal in this house, which frankly makes me think that portals are pretty common. They're not as uncommon as you would think. Portals can be on your land. They can be in your living room. They can be in your backyard. They can be at your work. They can be anywhere. Energy can be anywhere at any time, and an opening in that energy can be open anywhere at any time as well. Now, the interesting thing that I think is important here is that I learned, quite by accident, that we humans can create portals. And one of the ways that we can do that is using a Ouija board. Using a Ouija board apparently can open up a portal. Now, divination devices such as cards or a pendulum or reading tea leaves or using divining rods don't open portals. They simply do not open portals. For whatever reason that I don't understand, a Ouija board can open a portal. Oh, I know why. Never mind. I answered it. Because that makes sense. Sometimes I wonder about myself. Okay. Because cards don't cross the veil. They don't pierce the veil. Divining rods don't pierce the veil. Pendulums do not pierce the veil. Mediums pierce the veil. Ouija board pierces the veil. Why is that? What does that mean? It means that a medium can communicate to the dead, to souls that have crossed over. The difference between a psychic and a medium, all humans are psychic. End of story. But the difference between a psychic and a medium is that a psychic could see across the veil, could feel across the veil, could know what's on the other side of the veil. Those are all your psychic abilities. I could see someone's grandmother. I could know that somebody's grandmother was really happy. I could feel that somebody's grandmother loved her grandkids or loved this particular child and felt bonded with it. What I can't do as a psychic that a medium can do is communicate, pierce the veil, not just see across it, hear across it, feel across it, know across it, but pierce it. The Ouija board pierces the veil. And it does so because we're using that device to communicate with those that have crossed over, and they often spell out their name. Now, the million-dollar question that I'm afraid to ask is, if the Ouija board creates a portal when you use it, does a medium create a portal? Okay, so a medium creates a portal when we do the work, but mediums also close the portal. Now, mediums will often open the portal by saying a prayer or an invocation. And then when we're done working, we close that portal. And the portal could be, you could imagine a door closing. You could imagine shutting a window. You could imagine turning off the lights. you could set it up that when you're done with the reading, you take off a ring and you put it down. And that's a symbol to your spirit guides that when that ring is no longer being worn, that person is disconnecting, thereby closing the portal. But because people that use Ouija boards are not trained in any way, shape, or form, and I'm not saying that you have to be trained to be a medium, because you don't have to be trained to be a psychic or a medium. You just are. Training is helpful, but you can experience quite a bit without any training. But certainly people that use Ouija boards, which are advertised as games, have no clue that what they did was pierce the veil using the board, not using a person. So they create the portal and then they walk away. Or sometimes they run away. Or sometimes they take the board and light it on fire in the backyard. But that doesn't close the portal. So now there's a portal in your house. What does that mean? I mean, what does that mean for there to be a portal in your house? Well, it means that instead of there being a door that, theoretically speaking, you could latch or lock, your door is wide open. Your door is wide open. So anything that wants to can just waltz right through and say, hey, what's going on in here? This place looks pretty cool. That could be a ghost. That could be an entity. That could be an energy. That could be good, bad, or indifferent. Okay? So you can imagine, this is going to freak me out. It's going to freak you guys out even more. That is there a house in the United States of America that at least one person didn't use a Ouija board in? Maybe something that was built, in the last 5 years or 10 years, maybe. But people are still using them. So those portals are just popping up all over the place. So can you close a portal? Yes, you can even move a portal. I've moved a portal out of my house into my backyard. But you can also close a portal, especially one that a human created. So if a human created a portal, a human can close the portal. If it's a big portal that's a human didn't create, well, then you're going to be probably trying to move it. Let's say you've got a newer house and it was built on this sacred land or land that nobody knew was sacred. And there's a great big portal right there under your house. Well, it was there first, and it's probably a lot older and bigger than the house of your energy, the house of your energy, the energy of your house. So at that point, you're going to need help. You're going to need to probably get somebody that does energy work, someone that does house energetic cleaning work or cleansing work, and you're going to have to work to move that portal into outside of your four walls. I'm not saying you can't do it on your own, but it would require someone that has a lot of grounded energy, someone who's very grounded and someone who's really in their power, someone who feels in their power. Because truthfully, the majority of all of us are scattered. Our energy is scattered all over the place. And that doesn't make us very strong. It doesn't make us very grounded. So someone who's very grounded, if you've been a meditator for a long time, if you have a very positive outlook, if you don't get caught up in a lot of reactionary energy, you might be a person who can really ground yourself, bring in help. We don't really want to do this work ourselves. We're human. I know we're really spiritual, living in a human body, but we're still right now experiencing everything as a human, in my opinion. You need help. You need to bring in an archangel, angels, some really powerful, positive, of the light helper to help you move that portal. Okay. I mean, I could talk about this for hours. I would just say a portal can also cause animals to act funny in your house. Portals apparently can be activated and deactivated. I didn't know this. They can be deactivated, so you don't have to necessarily move it. You can, I guess I did know this. I didn't realize it was called deactivating. So instead of, like, I've just put lids on them. You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't know what else to do. I'm going to throw a rug over this portal and pretend like it doesn't exist, right? It was a little more than a rug, but let's just say. So you can deactivate them. You can do that. And what happens is, this is fascinating because I didn't know this. What happens is, I did not know this. The energy of the portal is connected to other portals. So I guess what I thought is the portal, you would just drop into the portal, and then on the other side, you would just be out in another dimension, kind of like an alleyway. You go through the alley and then you come out into a big field. That's what I thought. But apparently many of these portals are connected to other portals. So they have their own energetic highway. Back to the ley lines. They have their own underground, typically, energetic highway that then pops up with another portal. They're talking about fissures or underground thermal, some kind of thermal like gas that would come up, and if you plugged one hole, the gas would then just vent a different place. So it's like pressure. If you're going to plug this, then the pressure is going to move along and it's going to vent, escape at the next place. So you can actually, whatever I said, inactivate. I don't know what I said. I'm channeling. I don't know what I just said, but you can inactivate these portals. Again, this is through intention, through thought. Again, they're telling me humans just do not manifest well because our energy is scattered to the four winds. What does that mean? Well, you've got energy at work. You've got energy in your relationship. You've got energy with your parents, with your kids, with your grandkids. Something you're worried about. All of that has a piece of your energy. So bringing all that energy back into you once a day, call all of it home. You know, just call it all back to you. All you need to do is have an intention. My intention is I'm bringing all my energy back to me. Maybe before you go to bed, it's a great idea. Before you go to bed, bring all your energy back to you. Picture it, know it, feel it. Snap, 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 snap. All this energy coming back. Ching, 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 whatever. Lay in bed and know that it is happening. That's going to increase your vitality of your body. It's going to make you feel better. It's going to make you healthier. And it's going to make you be able to manifest things easier and quicker like this. My intention is that if there are any portals in my house, that they become inactivated. So it is. Now, when you do something like that, you can't worry about it. You can't go back and say, God, I wonder if that worked, and call your friend. Do you think it worked? That doesn't work. Your intention should be like rock solid. You should have every confidence that it worked. And you're going to go forth with that confidence until something proves otherwise. But you're not going to be looking. You're not going to be peeking to see if it worked. You're going to know that it worked. You're going to have faith that it worked. And you're going to keep that faith for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and you're going to forget about it. And then at some later date, as something starts happening again, then you've got more work to do. but with the faith, tells the universe you're serious. You believe this is going to happen. And belief and faith is everything when it comes to manifesting. Whatever it is you're trying to manifest, whether it's health or abundance or anything, you have to have faith. You have to have 100% belief that's going to happen. You have to know it. And you cannot look, you can't peek. You can't say, well, gosh, it's been 4 weeks and it never happened. It's been a year and it's never happened. You have to have faith that it happened. If you need to do more, if it's been a year and it hasn't manifested, if it's been 6 months and it hasn't manifested, then that's an indication that maybe there's a block and you can take more steps. But you do need to give it some time. The universe doesn't, believe it or not, it doesn't turn on a dime. It's a lot of moving parts, a lot of moving parts. And when you want to manifest something, it usually requires more than just you. So they got to work with other people and free will and all these other things, right? So try those things. I think this was a long way out Wednesday, and I apologize for that. But it was a lot of information they shared today, I think. And I really found it interesting. I always love to learn things, and I learned some new things today. So, and I hope you did too. Please leave me a comment down below. And if you like this content, why not give the video a thumbs up and subscribe? Because every single Wednesday, you're going to have more content just like this. If you click the bell, you'll be notified when I do have content. And that way you can know to take a look. Take really good care. Leave your comments below. I do read them all. I don't get an opportunity to respond to every single one of them. But if you've been with me for a while, you know I'm pretty active in the comments. I love that we share our experiences with each other. There's so much more we can learn from each other. So I love that you're willing to share your experiences as well. I really feel that it's very helpful for all of us. Okay? Take really good care of yourself. We'll see you again. If not before, then definitely next Wednesday.